Hi again, everyone. This video is sponsored by contribution from Joe, and here's his story. Hi, Ollie. My name is Joe Vizio. Using you as inspiration, I've been running my own channel for narcissistic abuse survivors for a little over a year now. The subscribers are great, and we are very helpful to each other's recovery. I love this community. You made a video for me once before called "The Narcissist Lives Trying to Duplicate Their First Supply High with You." Thank you again for that. I have something that may be helpful to your subscribers. On my channel, I don't get much negative feedback. For the past few months, I noticed a trend, kind of like when I see your videos. I see that 2 or 3 thumbs down on some of your videos. I always assume that is your dad, mom, and brother. It's just me, Normus. He's the one who does it all. My mother's too stupid, and my brother wouldn't dare. My Precious wouldn't dare. He's pretty much, after the last conversation I had with him, he is terrified because I had to tell him what was what and show him what reality was. When I questioned my mother as, my borderline mother, the subject of your first video for me, told me that my sister informed her, my mother, that she would no longer be talking to her. Her reason would be that my mother is telling me things about my sister. When I questioned my mother as to what my sister is talking about, my mother told me that it was over a story about a cat litter box. Right away, I made the connection. A while back, I made a video called Granny, a Drunk Aunt, and a Litter Box. This was confirmation that my sister was watching my videos. The story is about my sister refusing to remove her line of little litter boxes out of the way of maintenance man in her apartment. The guy lost his footing trying to step over them and broke one. My sister went crazy demanding $6 for a new box. I cut my sister out of my life almost 3 years ago over her narcissistic behavior that she learned from the king of narcs, my father. It has been 8 years since I've had contact with him. Now the people that don't care, the people that think I'm crazy, the man that said I was no skin off his ass if I ever talked to him again, are watching my videos. A channel that I don't advertise and is run under a fake name. They found it. That night I made a video for my sister. As she went through this abuse with me, I sarcastically welcomed her to the channel and gave her best wishes on her recovery. The video was disliked and my subscriber count dropped by 1. That was one turd flush. The next day I made a video for my father. I made this video as if I were speaking directly to him. I poured 43 years of anger and frustration into a 17-minute video. A video that I know went into his narcissistic ear and pierced the crap pile that he calls a brain. The result, a comment from my father telling me that he wanted to hear everything I had to say and also said to me, "You're a sick fuck." Just like that, with your Y-O-U-R spelt misspelled instead of Y-O-U''. Then my subscriber count dropped by 1 more. For me, this is a huge victory. It was a narcissistic weight off my shoulders. Everything that made for conversations in my head, I finally had the opportunity to say it out loud. I finally got to say it to the person that not only tortured me, but it tortured the family that he had created. I know your teaching is to go no contact and let them figure it out on their own. I preach this myself, but I also know that many of us dream of having that one opportunity to spill it on these narcissistic assholes. This was my opportunity, and I thought I would share it with the world. Very true to your teaching. It has done nothing more than give me a temporary feeling of victory. The reality is it has done nothing. No relationship will change. They still think I'm crazy, and they will surely pass on the information to other family members about my crazy ramblings. Well, maybe not his wife. He may want to hide the video from her. I hope that you could share or play this video on your channel. I thought those may be struggling with that last conversation that was never said may live vicariously through me for this 17-minute long video. When I watched your video telling your parents off, it was so satisfying for me. I was able to put myself in your place. The name of the video is Oh My Papa. His comment is still on there under the name Joe Ferraro Sr. I did not block him or my sister. They are welcome to watch. Maybe they'll learn something. Yeah, right. I didn't want to go deep into my story here. I think it's going to be long enough. People are welcome to listen to my story if they wish. It is much like all of ours. Same tactics, same people. The only thing changed are the faces. Thank you for your help. Thank you for all you do. Triage, man. Yes, Ollie stopped my bleeding and enabled me to find myself. That no donation could ever compensate you for. From the victims near and far, thank you for giving us strength. We've all been through a lot. Thanks again, Joe Vizio. Well, thank you, Joe. And I do know of your I've seen your channel, and I appreciate the kind words and what you're doing. I'm wondering why you're still talking to your borderline mother, though. You know, this is a dog. You never want to get into a fight with wild dogs. You don't try to break up a dog fight, because eventually it turns back on you. And I'll say this, the reason why I tell people to do what you did and what I did, either to write in a letter, make a video, is because you could say everything you want to say uninterrupted. And they got to sit there and listen to it. And they're going to listen to every word. And they'll sit there, and you could picture them sitting there as they're watching, yelling, arguing, trying. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Because you just keep talking and talking to the world, and there's nothing they can do about it other than make a comment and draw them out to show them what they are, which is what happened, which is exactly what happened with your father. And you know, I tell you, like I tell everybody, stop calling these people mother, father, sister. Give them names. Give them names to gaslight them back with. If this election has taught us anything, it's trolling works. Trolling works. And what I found is I'm a much better troll than most. I think a lot of us are. So, on to your video.
Everybody, Joe Vizio here. Just wanted to kind of crank out a quick one here. I'm sitting here and I'm driving and I got that Joska in my head. And, you know, when that's going on, it's, for me, it's time to do a video and start talking to this camera. And if you don't know, Joska is the conversation that plays within your head. So when you're sitting there and you're having that conversation with your mom and dad fictitiously in your head, that is called Joska. So, here I am, I'm driving, and I'm just kind of thinking about these things, and you know, I'm kind of reminded of a time after me and my father stopped talking. And I was still talking with my sister. My sister had made a comment to me about my father had said something that I was bitter about the money that he had. And that he had wondered if he wanted me to give him his money. Give his money to me. And now that I'm thinking about that, you know, first of all, I mean, I have to say, I know you're probably watching there, Pops. What the fuck have I asked you for? How many times have I asked you for money? What, I asked you for some money for some food a couple times? In my late teens, early 20s? I asked you to help me out with it.
See, and the fact that you have to go back to your late teens to 20s to try to, like, it's amazing. But this is what narcissists do. They will bring up shit from decades past and then try to make it like it's this giant thing and this life-changing moment of why you should be shamed. It's bullshit. And the reason the thing with the money, those are bait statements. That's bait. He's trying to get you to bite down on it, like almost dangling the money in you. He's dangling it, and blaming you at the same time. So you don't know where he's coming from, and hopefully you'll re-engage one-on-one and he can do what he wants to do.
With part of a down payment on an apartment. He helped me buy a car once, a couple $100. But all in all, for the way that you've made me felt just for receiving that little bit of help, there's no way I would have asked you for anything. Never gave a shit about your money.
And you see, I mean, those are nice things, but those are things normal parents do for their children anyway. No, he's not obligated, but it's pretty normal parent children relationship, even into their teens or 20s, you know, or at any point, I would think parents would want to help out their children. But here's another example of what I call, you know, the broken plate syndrome. You're a broken plate. So it doesn't matter what good things are served because it's still served on a broken dish. Doesn't matter. Taints it.
I knew early on what a selfish motherfucker you were. And you know what? Even if I did ask you to help me buy a car, or I asked you to help me buy some food, or I think I asked you one time to help me pay for my girlfriend's birth control pills. I was like 19 years old. If you didn't want to do something like that, you should have taken a fucking cold shower instead of having kids. Because that's what happens sometimes. You know, I have a daughter. She's 25 years old. She lives in Montana. She's doing her thing. But you know what? It's hard out there. It's a hard life. I didn't have nearly the opportunities or the pay scale that was available to my father available to me. And my daughter damn sure doesn't have half of the opportunities that I have. So as broke as I am, when my daughter needs help, you bet your ass I'm doing everything I can to scrape together what I can to send to her. And the most important thing is that I am not making her feel like a piece of shit because I have to do this. Whether it's one time, whether it's 2 times, whether it's 20 times. It would be different if she's asking me for that and she's running out and she's buying fucking crack. But she's not. And I wasn't doing that either. And neither was your daughter. Never wanted to fucking help either one of us. Not because you didn't have the money. Because you were a selfish motherfucker. That's exactly what you were.
And it also gives them power. It also gives them power. I mean, your story and mine are very similar. I mean, like everybody knows, me, Normus, and Drunky are loaded. They both come from money. Both of them come from exorbitant amount of money. But anytime you needed something, it was the end of the fucking world. Crying poor mouth, but they always had shit.
That's exactly what you are. And you fit right in line with most of your generation. And I know there's a lot of people out there that aren't like that. I watched a lot of my friends with, just like awesome, wet dream kind of parents. So I can't fault the whole baby boomer generation. But those that are like my father, oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. I point the dirty finger at you. I didn't want shit from you. The only thing I wanted you to do was be a fucking father. Not be a disciplinarian, not be a fucking narcissist that's waiting for somebody to roll their eyes so that you can punch them in the face. Not be the ruler of the roost. According to my father, a man ain't nothing unless he's got a big TV. That's what my father was raised on. That's what my father is. And you know, my mother's kind of the same way. My mother can't survive without her TV. And let me tell you something. TV has, destroyed everything. Everything.
The media has, that's for damn sure.
That is, TV is the greatest weapon of mass destruction ever invented. And that's your generation that embrace that. They don't want shit from you. The only thing that I wanted you to do was stop. Was just fucking stop with your bullshit. That's all. That's all I ever wanted you to do. But you know what? When I ditched your ass, wasn't over money. It was over that feeling of my father standing there and me feeling like the person that's on the outside looking in. It was okay to be the butt of your joke. I couldn't be included in it. Couldn't have been, hey, my son, fist bump. It couldn't have been anything like that. You just had to cut and cut and cut. Dad, I started a business. Well, it's okay if you want to be a toilet cleaner. You don't have no ambition. When you could have just embraced that idea. I started to get pretty successful. I had my stumbling times, and during those stumbling times, you just think that you could have just, son, take my hand, let me help you. You never did it. You chose your friends. You chose everybody else over me. And I was the guy at those times, I forgave you for punching me in the face. I forgave you for stomping my head into the floor because I couldn't clean up all the juice. I forgave you the hair pulling, the biting, the backhands across the face, the threats. My father was the king of the threat. He was going to poke my eyes out of my head, smack my teeth down my throat, knock my teeth out of my head, knock my head off my shoulders. One time he even threatened to rip my esophagus out and hang me with it. And it's a joke. It's like probably sitting there laughing about that now. And you know what? That's why, man. That's why. That's why, you have a granddaughter you've never even seen. You've never really had anything to do with your other grandkids from me because their mothers could see right through your bullshit even when I couldn't do it. And you know what? Let's forget about the first one because that was kind of a fucked up situation for everybody around. Look at my son. My first wife hated you because she could see right through all the bullshit that took me so long to realize. She didn't want you to have dick to do with my son. And anything that she done to manipulate you away from him, I'm glad she did it. And you still want to sit there and think that you didn't do anything. That you were just clean. You are the victim. I attacked you. That's the fucking problem with you narcs. You just don't get it. You're thick. You're fucking thick. Your daughter had one child. She gave him away. Not because she couldn't handle him, because she was selfish, because she didn't want to take on the responsibility. That's okay. I didn't judge her when it first happened. I was the only motherfucker that stood there and supported her.
I'll say this about that, about your sister. At least she realized she was too selfish to raise the kid, and she didn't have have an abortion. Gave the child a chance at a loving family. I don't know. Hopefully the child got one. But it's a fucked up. Yeah, it's fucked up that she gave a child just because she was irresponsible. But at least she was honest enough to do it, to know she wasn't responsible enough, and not have the abortion, and give the child a chance at a normal, loving life.
You didn't do it. Now the kid's growing up, and you're stepping in with Mr. fucking Daddy Warbucks. Oh, here comes Granddaddy. I'm gonna buy your love.
Yep. That's enormous, man. Everything you just said about how you were raised, you know, the threats. My father wasn't a, he would hit. Like, it would just be out of nowhere because you'd never see it coming with him. And I'd never, because my mother was so overtly violent and crazy, that's all I could really worry about. So when it came from him, it was always a shock. But I didn't realize he was the one who was fucking me up. He steps in with my kid, Mr. Daddy Warbucks now, Mr. 4 pages of Christmas presents, Mr. Your father's a deadbeat, like all of it, I get it.
I mean, you just don't get it. You just don't fucking get it, man.
He gets
it. And you
it.
know what? There's a lot of people out there that went through the same exact thing. And let me tell you something, my sister is one of them. My sister talks about these same things.
So does my brother. He's just too big of a coward.
To everybody else. You are really one of the most selfish sons of bitches I have ever met. And you know, I thought about, sending your wife everything on this Dana Frankovich girl. And, she's actually just as stupid and as vapid as you are. So, I mean, what's that going to do? I've never been that type of person. And like I said before in another video, if I was that person, yeah, I would have gone up to see Mr. Sorecki and had your ass bounce from that place. But I didn't. Because it's just not me. But you know what? I cannot wait for the day that you die. I can't wait for it. I can't wait to stand on top of your grave and piss on it.
Fucking A.
And I'm just as proud as can be. I might even be nice enough to wait until after the funeral to do it. Just one time. Just one time. I just wish that there could have been that connection. That we could have been the home team. And I think that's why I stuck it out so long, allowing myself to be made a fool of. I mean, do you realize that you told me that the Phillies were a fart in the wind? You seen this Philly necklace that somebody made me, hand carved. You looked me in the eyes and said, oh, that's gay, as a joke for you and all the other people around. Then in the same breath, when the Phillies won the World Series, you fucking tried to call me to be father and son? Hey, my son, we did it! Really? You're that fucking dense!
Oh my God, you're triggering now. See, now you're bringing up memories because, my father did the same thing with the Jets. because they're Giants fans. The only Jets fans were me and my brother, and we were diehard. And my father would always make jokes, except in '98 when they went to the L. Can you believe this? I'm like, you're the guy who's been making fun of this for years. So the tactics are identical. Same thing in '02. Same thing in '02. You know, when the Jets started 1-4, and that's when Pennington got in at quarterback, and they won the division at 9-7, and they took out went on a playoff run. Dude, oh, can you believe this? Get the fuck out of here, you fucking flag waving Giants fans. Go Big Blue. Fuck you. Fucking hate the Giants. All right, ran for another video.
I suspect that you've already turned this video off by now because you probably don't want to hear any of this shit. And I've thought so many ways and times and anything like that to be able to tell you this shit. To be able to expand on what I've told you before. Because even then, even the time when I was going to walk out of your office, I was still stupid enough to think that yes, maybe somewhere down the road, I'm still going to have a relationship with my father. But you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you with a big, hot stick. I can't wait for you to die. And when you do die, I hope that it is very painful. That's all. Maybe soon. Maybe soon I'll be able to bring that down to level and I'll be able to say, oh, you know what, I hope he don't die. I hope he lives his full life. But right now, it's because you just can't fucking see. You just can't look past your own narcissistic big nose. And I got the same big nose, buddy. Can't look past your own narcissistic big nose to see the fucking truth. You know what? I'm not a narcissist. I have undone all the bullshit that you tried to treat me. My family's happy. My kids are happy. My kids love me. I have relationships with my kids. Every one of them. Every one of them. As you sat there and you watched everybody, your friends, your family, your cousins, everybody, all their kids just come up and just be successful and everything. And what did you have? What did you have? A daughter that bounced from reception job to reception job up until, I don't know what the fuck she's doing now, but all the way up until she was 40-some years old, you watched your daughter bounce from job to job, struggling with everything she did. Your son went out and started a business, and you took the opportunity to rub it in his face and call him a toilet cleaner. That's what you did. While all your friends, everybody, Lisa's niece, Connor, all these other people have just gone on, oh, this one's going to college, oh, that one's doing this, that's blah, 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 blah. And yours just didn't do anything. Yours just survived. And you still, for some reason, was able to put that fucking nose in the air like your shit didn't stink. You know what? Let me tell you something. You stink. You stink bad. You stink real bad. These people, they don't love you. They feared you. And now that you're retired, now that you're out of the game, those people are going to start slowly just kind of dwindling away from you, other than just a little like on Facebook, because they all know that you were a cock-sucking asshole. You were a motherfucker. That's exactly it is.
It's either that or he's going to have to be Daddy Warbucks for everybody and give everybody money, which isn't out of the realm of possibility, but who knows. But really, you said one line in here that basically sums it up when you're raised by people like your father, like our parents, okay? You're on the outside looking in. That's what narcissistic abuse makes you feel like when these people do this. You're like some kind of outsider. You're already locked out and you're just barely looking in. And you hang on because you don't want those curtains to close. and be completely shut out. But when the reality is, you're already shut out. They're only keeping the curtains open to gaslight and torture you. You were already locked out. You were on the outside. Your future was behind you, not in front of you. If that makes any sense. Your future wasn't what you were looking at. You had your back to your future. And that's what narcissistic abuse does. It makes you look from the outside in and miss your entire future. Glad you discovered it. You seem like you're doing well. Thank you so much for your contribution and all your support, Joe. I appreciate it. Thank you for the story and the link. Appreciate that as well. I'll put the link in the description box as well. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a narcissist you'd like to expose or a topic you'd like me to cover, you know what to do with the PayPal and my email link in the description box. And remember, when you email me your story, please put at the top of the email whether it's with or without contribution and what name you'd like to go by. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. See you all again soon.